Hey, good morning. It's Monday Morning Movement. Thanks for joining me. I realize it's morning somewhere. Anyway, I am at the John Glenn International Airport in Columbus, Ohio, and thanks, Ohio. I had the best time with you. As always, hi, thanks for joining us. And so I'm going from Columbus back out to Central Wyoming, and what a great opportunity on Monday Morning Movement to explain maybe the top 2 movements you could make as you're traveling, because this time of the year, what do? We get in cars, we sit down in boats, we even sit in our lawnmowers now. We don't even get movement from mowing our lawn. But this is going to help you with gardening. This is going to help you sit for long periods of time. And we are always trying to either improve our posture as we sit, and we're trying to move more. So I prefer to move more when I have the choice between the two. So this particular one move, because I've put together the 2 most important moves, takes 5 minutes a day. In other words, what I'm telling you, if you actually do a combination of this move I'm about to show you that brings together 2 of these moves, it's going to change your life. It incorporates hanging, that one thing that we'll be talking about all week, and it incorporates also squatting. Why are those 2 movements so important? Just think about what squatting does. Squatting helps the front of your legs, the back of your legs, your pelvic floor, which houses all of those important things that help you go to the bathroom better. It helps you improve your core. And the pelvic floor is kind of a magical place, but through the breath that I've been promoting, you will find movement of the pelvic floor if you stick with me long enough. So these two moves that I'm about to do to combine to one also promotes blood flow. It also promotes a sort of a hanging that helps with the lower back muscles, the mid-back muscles. And think about the mid-back muscles and up just from sitting, being on computers. It also helps you with your hands. I ran into a few people this weekend where their wrists are hurting from arthritis. Some for good reason, but others just from the way they sit and are on their computers. So let's show you these 2 movements combined. I'm again combining a hanging piece, and I'm putting together a squat in that. So great movement of the internal if you apply the breath, and great movement of the connective tissue and the muscles if you actually do the movement. How many times a day do you have to do it? I stretch it out sometimes. I'm just going to show you about 30 seconds worth. A couple of things. This particular movement, which combines 2 awesome movements you should be doing every day. You can put your feet either parallel, you can take them out wide, you can externally rotate them, internally rotate. You can do all different things with a beautiful hanging and squat position that we're about to do. Another thing you need to do is breathe with it if you understand this breath. And if you don't understand this breath, let me know by leaving a message. I want to share that with you. And it has wonderful benefits because it takes you out of that cashew nut shape that we often see in sitting. So let's get going. So a very important part is wherever you decide to do this, it's best in bathrooms where there is a big solid structure in a sink. But I've chosen this area, which is a solid. Yes, it moves, but it's very heavy and solid to the ground. It's a huge chair that they have all through this airport. And so what I'm going to do is set my feet about hip distance for me, because I found that with me, hip distance when I'm forced into sitting saves my lower back ache once I arrive. In other words, yes, I actually feel better when I get there. If you suffer from fatigue and you are sitting, it is why you suffer from fatigue. If you're traveling and are really achy at the end of the trip, it's because typically you're sitting. this will help considerably. Another thing I do is I set my tailbone back. I'd set it back, but I make sure I have a structure here. So this one I'm going back a little bit further, and I'm not gonna let my knees go forward. I'm gonna let my tailbone sink. Now, as I let my tailbone sink, you can see I have a neutral spine position. I'm lowering my chin here, and I'm holding it. This stretches my pelvic floor, starting to stretch my arms. It's definitely stretching the top of my hands. Then I'm gonna lower my neck. This is gonna give me that great spine stretch. Now through this, I'm breathing. And I will switch up my neck a lot. You see, as I rise, I use that particular breath system. That movement in itself is a combination, again, hanging and squatting. It benefits from the top of your head to the bottom, and particularly those places that when we travel hurt the most once we get there. There is hope in movement. Join me in Central Wyoming tomorrow. We will see you soon. Sorry it's short and sweet, but there's children in the back room crying, and there's an overhead gal that's gonna come on any minute. I'm in an airport with like 1,000 people. Keep moving.